Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Jack with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, I've got a few of my favorite positions that I like to get into regularly to help keep my mobility fresh. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Thursday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve the aches and pains, prevent the injuries, and overall optimize your performance in the gym and outside of it in your daily routine. And it doesn't get much better than that. So go ahead and jump on it. Ready? Let's get into this video. Alright guys, today's video is pretty straightforward. I'm going to be getting into some of my favorite positions that require no equipment to use other than a wall or a broomstick. If you have those, you're good to go for the video today. And these are positions that I get into fairly regularly to keep my mobility fresh. If you guys are here looking to improve your flexibility, range of motion, overall mobility, I do want to invite you to take advantage of my 7-day mobility training challenge. The link for that is down below in the description, and it is designed to help you identify limited ranges of motion that you currently have, flexibility that's missing, and stability or control around the joint that is killing your overall mobility. And it is a mini course, so it does take you through a small miniature form of a systematic approach to improving your overall mobility. There is no equipment necessary. They are 15-minute sessions, so it doesn't take very long, and you can do them pretty much wherever you want. So I invite you to take advantage of that. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our favorite positions here. Alright guys, the very first position I like to start with is a Cesa Sit, and here I'm doing it with toes in extension. And I do this with two different varieties, but I consider them the same class here. So the first one is toe extension. If we lose our toe extension, especially that great toe extension, that puts us at a huge risk for injury upstream, and there are so many of us who do not have the capability to extend our toes like this. The second is plantar flexion of the ankle. So being able to fully flatten out the foot here to the floor, getting the butt down between the heels even, and getting our knee in deep flexion while the ankle's in plantar flexion. Now to really amplify this, I like to work on some muscle dynamics, which is muscular coordination, making sure the correct muscles are engaging to stabilize a position. And in order to do that, I add a hip thrust to both positions so that we're focusing on our glutes, stabilizing the pelvis, and our abdomen, stabilizing the lower back as we lean back over those heels. Now it looks simple, but this is a deceivingly challenging move here. So you might have to build up to it. And at first your body's gonna resist this. It is like body weight strength training for those glutes and quads. And it will overall help your movement and athleticism in the long run here. Position number 2 is a scorpion stretch. And once again, I like to try a few different varieties here with my scorpion stretch and a couple different muscle dynamics. So first of all, we take the opposite arm toward the opposite leg through rotation, okay? And when we're rotating to the back here, we actually are opening up that anterior chain of our body and engaging the posterior chain. Now the first position I like to try with thumbs down, and you'll see me flexing and releasing my triceps. So this gives me an opportunity to open up my biceps and the pec in this position. The second is a palm down position, still working on that control of the triceps versus the biceps, trying to get that elbow pit to the floor. And then the third is a bent arm position. Now this one will tighten up the most out of any of these, but it is pulling directly at the pecs here in this position, and it will be the most challenging. So keep that in mind as you get to it. Our third position is the couch stretch. So here we're looking at the anterior tissues of the leg, and once again the relationship of the glutes, but this time to the hip flexors, so the ability to fully stabilize the pelvis from the glutes when the hip is in extension. The first position is down low, and that is what I call level 1, making it the easiest of our 3 positions that I'll show here. That one right there, middle range, is level 2, and here is level 3, getting completely vertical. Now my gold standard is to get people to level 3. If anyone ever has knee issues and they come to me, this is one of my favorites. Now, you can also add a side bend to really get into those hip flexors a little bit deeper, as well as a rotation to the movement so that we can also tie in some fascial lines here, making sure that we're using our musculature again in a way that benefits us during athletic movement. All right, for our next one, grab your broomstick. In this position, we want our elbows to be sitting inside of our wrists. And I know it's hard to see from this angle, but here my elbows are narrow and my wrists are wide, and I'm anchoring on that dowel firmly. Here we're looking at thoracic extension. So my abs are tight, and the extension of the spinal column that you see here is all from my thoracic spinal column, as my abs resist the arch in the lumbar range. What we want to see here is opening up the triceps, the lats, and really giving ourselves an opportunity to get the scapula to retract and depress on the thoracic spinal column and tightly pack on the upper back here. This will help any overhead positioning or work that you do. Now, go ahead and head over to your wall. We're going to set the feet about one of your foot's lengths away from the wall in the corner there. And what I want to do is drop my butt right into the corner, down to the floor, so that I'm all the way in the corner where the floor meets the wall. My feet here are planted firmly. I want my knees to be opening wide. So it's mimicking a squat, but with a much more vertical angle here, using the wall to support my spinal column. We really get to look at the depth of flexion that I can get at the knees and the depth of flexion at the hips, but it also gives me an opportunity to really work my shoulder positioning here in external rotation and activate the musculature of the upper back. And last but not least, we're going inverted here. So put one hip to the wall as close as you can get it, and then roll those legs up so that your butt is against the wall. Once again, we want to be in the corner nice and deep where the floor meets the wall. Now, if you are too tight through your hamstrings and that posterior chain to get that close to the wall to start with, then just go where you can, and as you open up, you can actively start to move in a little bit closer. What we want to focus on here is flexing the quadriceps. 5 seconds on the flex, 5 seconds on the release, and you can also do that with the shins, so pulling the toes towards you for about 5 seconds and then releasing to activate that stretch all the way through those calves in this position. All right, and there you guys have it. A few of my favorite positions to get into that will help you keep your mobility fresh and require no equipment other than a wall or that broomstick that you have. So take advantage of those. If you guys like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up below. Drop any comments below that you have or questions that you have about these stretches or these positions, and I will be happy to answer them for you. And share this with a friend. Make sure that they get into these positions regularly as well, because we all need a little bit of mobility work in our lives, and you can share that gift with them as well. If you haven't already, make sure you sign up for that 7-day mobility training challenge so that you too can be working on your overall mobility and, first of all, discovering where we're lacking that range of flexibility and stability and control around the joint. Those are the keys to overall improving the mobility. So we need to start there so we know we need to put in a certain type of work. And lastly, before we go here, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Thursday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve those aches and pains, prevent the injuries, and overall optimize your performance in the gym and outside of it in your daily life. And it does not get better than that. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. I'll see you guys next week.